Hey Bible readers, I'm Tara Lee Cobble and I'm your host for the Bible Recap. Have you ever watched the first round of a show like American Idol? There are always a handful of contestants who are trying their best, but it's clear that they are on the wrong career path. If only they had someone in their life who would be honest with them. Unfortunately, they have to make some big mistakes and in front of loads of people, no less, and only then will they hear the truth for the first time. I've made mistakes like this too. Just last month, a friend sought me out for some advice, and I made a few suggestions which she thought were great. Then I said, before you act on my advice, would you mind if I ask someone else I know who's actually a professional and has dealt with this a few times? She agreed, and when we hung up, I called the professional, I shared my friend's situation and my proposed solution. Without pause, the professional replied by saying something along the lines of, "That is terrible advice, Tara Lee, never do that." I had to laugh at myself because the counsel I thought was so great that my friend also appreciated, the pro just dumped cold water all over it. And the suggestion she offered instead was brilliant. Suddenly, the gaps in my advice were glaringly obvious. Her wisdom was not only helpful to my friend, but helpful to me as well. Sometimes, that's what it's like to read or study the Bible on your own. It's easy to draw quick conclusions like we talked about in episode 5. One of the ways to help yourself avoid that pitfall is to make sure you read or study the Bible alongside others. In some ways, these videos can help with that, but it has its limitations. It's a one-way street. You can hear from me, but you can't talk to me about where you're struggling or the things you're learning about God and His character. And while I'd love to actually sit down with you and hear your thoughts on all of this, even a one-time coffee date wouldn't do the trick because we're going to be reading this daily and hopefully for the rest of our lives. So, here are a few things I'd suggest to help you with this. First, find another actual human to do this reading plan with you. Surely you know someone else who's been a long-term passenger on the Bible reading struggle bus. Ask that friend to jump in this with you. Maybe you can both read the plan and watch these Bible recap videos daily and then get together once a week and talk about it. You can share the things you think I'm wrong about or the things you learned that I didn't even notice. Maybe you're a Christ follower and the person you want to do this plan with is someone who wouldn't consider themselves a Christian. That works too. This could be a great way for them to lean in and learn about the God you love and why you find Him so lovable. If you have a friend you want to do this plan with, screenshot this channel, share it on social media, and tag that friend, or friends plural, because it can be more than one person. Then tag us too. We're on social media as The Bible Recap. Number 2, find or start a D group near you. D group stands for Discipleship Group. It's a ministry I started in 2009 with a handful of women in a living room. It's grown to more than 300 groups around the world. Women's D groups, men's D groups, military D groups, Spanish-speaking D groups. We have online D groups, and we even partner with churches to be one of their options for home groups. We've touched every populated continent, though I'm not sure exactly how many we're on right now, but we'd love to be in your home, in your church. And I should tell you, while D group isn't focused exclusively on reading through the Bible in a year with the Bible Recap, we do have a lot of other spiritual disciplines that we put into practice when our communities meet each week. In the description box, I'll link to a podcast where I talk more about D group in case you want to hear more, as well as a short trailer video to give you a better idea of what we're about. There will also be a link to our worldwide map so you can find a D group near you. If you like what you see in the trailer video and here in the podcast, just click the link to the map to check out options in your area. If you're intrigued but you're not entirely sure if it's for you, just join for a session and see how that 6 weeks goes for you. There's no pressure to commit long term, but I think you'll want to stick around. We have members who were in that very first meeting in 2009 and who've stuck around and are still in D group today because they see such beautiful fruit in their lives and in the lives of others. At the risk of losing a few of you here, or even perhaps a lot of you, I feel like this third point is the most important. Find a church. If you're not a member of a local church, let me encourage you to do the work to find a place and plug in there. More and more lately, I've been meeting people who love God, but who've been so wounded by the church, and they've stepped away, but they still long for God and His Word. Don't give up on the church, friends. God hasn't, and He hasn't given up on you either. He's walking with you in your pain and in your questions. When you've been truly hurt, He's angry at the wounds that have been cast your way. even if they've been done by others who love him or maybe just claim to. I'd encourage you to look for a church with a gentle pastor, someone patient and kind. That kind of church home has been a balm to the soul of so many of my wounded friends. For those of you who prefer to watch a service from the comfort of your bed, I get it. That can be a necessary transitional point at times, but in the long term, it's not going to serve you well. And you certainly can't really serve it well either. Your laptop can't visit you in the hospital. Your laptop can't mourn with you when you suffer loss, and you can't learn to die to self by serving your laptop. In the end, laptop church will probably make you a little more self-focused. And I think we probably all need a little less of that. I know I do anyway. I need real people, real community, not a screen for an hour on Sunday morning. Listen, you can do this plan alone. You totally can, and many of you will. But it's going to be so much easier to stick to if you have at least one other person alongside you in this. This will help you understand the scriptures and even God himself if you do it alongside a community of believers, and especially by being an active member and a regular attender of a local church. If you don't even know where to start on your church search, we've linked to some helpful tools in the description box. Hopefully those will get the ball rolling for you. Maybe that's more than you signed up for. Maybe you want to get there, but you're not there yet. Maybe you're here because you don't even know if you believe in God, and here I am asking you to join a church. Just like anything else I've shared here, take the tools that are helpful to you. I'm not your spiritual authority. I'm just a woman who loves the Bible and has benefited richly from reading it alongside others. So I can't help but want the same for you. Can you blame me? And even if you can't start out reading in community, go ahead and start anyway by yourself, because your enthusiasm will likely be contagious and someone will be drawn in by what you're experiencing. Also, ask God to bring you some real life opportunities for biblical community. Ask him to lead the way and make the path smooth. In the meantime, take advantage of digital community. It's worth noting that we have a Patreon support level that provides the option to join our private Facebook group where you can meet others who are like-minded, and you may even meet someone who lives in your area. That has happened. Okay, that's all for today. Bible readers, I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. If you haven't subscribed to the Bible Recap channel, do that now. And if these first few episodes have been helpful to you so far, I'd love for you to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. It really helps drive us higher into the YouTube algorithm so people can spot us easily and get more tools to engage their relationship with God. Subscribe, like, comment. It's going to be a great year for us all as we pursue him together, because he's where the joy is.